Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol with his almost with his second triple-double in like 3 games. You know, and I go back and I say this guy is so versatile that it's amazing just watching him play out on the floor. He passes well, he shoots it well, and he rebounds well. But he comes up with 20 points, 14 boards, and 9 assists. Then you go to a guy like Steve Blake, and I tell you what, every single one of his threes that he hit was huge. And then his toughness in coming up with loose balls. He came up with a few loose balls in that second half that gave us possessions that we might not have gotten or that we hadn't gotten against these guys in the past when the ball's bouncing on the ground. But you know, I mean, I would be wrong if I didn't sit up here and say we got 2 huge contributions from guys that don't play much. You know, I thought Devin Ebanks, you know, he was 1 for 4 from the field, but he got to the free throw line 10 times. Was huge. And then his 3 offensive rebounds, it seemed like he had 8 offensive rebounds, if not more. But that was huge. You know, to be asked, and I don't even know if he played in the first half. I don't think he did. But to be asked to go out there and guard, he might have played a minute, so I take that back in the first half. But to be asked to go out there and guard, you know, an all-star and Kevin Durant, just make him work. You know, you're not going to stop him. He's still going to get his points. I mean, Kevin Durant takes 34 shots. Imagine having to guard that guy taking 34 attempts. But he went out there and he tried to do everything we asked him, showing his hands, trying to be as physical as possible, and making Kevin Durant work. And I thought he did a heck of a job for who he is compared to where Kevin Durant is in his career. So I take my hat off to Devin Ebanks. And then the last guy who hadn't played in a while, and literally on my ride back from the airport when I lost to San Antonio, it's just a gut feel. I picked up the phone, I called Jordan Hill at like 2 in the morning, and I said, Jordan, you ready to play? Coach, whatever you need. I said, okay, I'm going to think about throwing you out on the floor in this next game. So these are the things I need from you. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but if I throw you out there, I want to see some athleticism. I want to see you sprinting to pick and rolls. I want to see you playing it, defending pick and roll right, and blocking shots and patrolling that paint. He said, yes, sir, I'll do it. And, you know, I was a little worried because, I mean, he hadn't played. I don't know when the last time he played, and then he got that big old ugly brace on his knee, and I just felt like there was no rhyme or reason. I just wanted to see what he looked like out on the floor. And he goes out there and he comes up with 15 boards and 14 points, which is a good night. Just as important, he had 3 blocks, but more important than that, the stuff that won't show up in the stat sheet is his pick and roll defense. In the first half, again, our pick and roll coverage was not good, and we were so far off the pick and roll that they were turning the corner and getting great looks. And when Jordan stepped up on that floor and played pick and roll defense, I mean, he was a presence when those guys came off in pick and roll coverage, because that's what they do. They play pick and roll all night. And so to have that presence at the pick and roll or at the point of the pick and roll, and then have the athleticism and quickness to give the multiple effort and get back to your own man, heck of a night. You know what? Better yet, hell of a night. It was a hell of a night from Jordan. Hell of a night from Jordan Hill.
In that situation, you rode with Jordan Hill, and you were rewarded by it. Can you talk? Was that a hard decision? And can you talk about what was going through your head when you got him into overtime, and then the 2 overtimes, and you stuck with Jordan?
Well, you know, that group that we had with Jordan and Powell, they played well in the first half, and so in the second half, when we didn't play as well in the third quarter, and then I went with that group to start the fourth quarter, and they made a little run. I think it was a 10-point game at about the time that I usually put big fella back in. You know, I said, you know what, this group is playing well. Not only are they scoring some points and they're chipping into this thing little by little, but we're defending. And so I said, I'm going to roll with this group. And so from the standpoint that, yeah, Drew is 7 foot and he's an all-star and he's played very well for us, that makes it tough. But it wasn't tough because I had a feeling that I had a gut feel, plus just watching the Florida game, that group was playing extremely well on both ends of the floor. I thought there was still plenty of time left in the game for us to get a win.
Mike, when you consider everything you didn't have at the end of this game, you didn't have Metta World Peace, you didn't have Bynum, even though it was your choice, and you didn't have John Kuester, who's been instrumental in drawing up big plays when you need big baskets. Is this your best team win of the year?
This was a very good team win, you know, being down double digits and against a very good team when we could have folded easily. And yeah, it might be our biggest win of the year in terms of how the game unfolded and so on and so forth.
Even with how little Devin and Jordan have played this season, Do you see this effort prompting you to feature them more in the bench rotation moving forward?
Oh, well, Jordan gonna play. Yeah, Jordan gonna play. He gonna keep playing, and Devin, we're gonna keep trying to get him on the floor. Yeah.
Matt Barnes kind of messed up his foot or ankle, it seemed like.
I think it was his ankle.
Yeah. Do you have any update on him? Did he not play later on because of the ankle or because like Devin was playing well?
No, Devin came in and he played well, and you know, just like Sessions, I mean Steve Blake played well. So I was gonna go with the guys I felt that were helping us roll.